So I'm sitting here with Tom and Josh from the Horrors. Tell me, guys, how do you find the big day out so far? Your first time here?
Really cool. It is our first time here. Yeah, it's been great. It's the heat is a little bit too much.
A bit oppressive
for us. I'm not used to it.
Well, I mean, that's why you sent all the convicts over here, because it was so damn hot. You know, it's a form of punishment.
I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah. Didn't mean to blame you. So I apologise. But I mean, how have the shows been going so far in the other dates?
Really great. Everything's been. I mean, to be honest, we've had a really great year. We've been touring since March, pretty much non-stop, and
2010 now.
Yeah.
I realised at this point going into the new year.
It's almost going to loop up again. Has it just been like a mad rush? Does it feel like it's been that long a time?
Yes and no. It feels like it's been 100 years, but compressed down into like a month.
It's a really good way to put it. Yeah, but I mean, with the new album, Primary Colours, of course, that's sort of, and it seemed a new direction for you guys. Has that influenced the live show a lot? Obviously, are you guys sort of approaching things differently now?
Yeah, it's terms of the kind of, I don't know, you react the way the music takes you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the way we react to playing songs from the first record and the second record are different. So yeah, I think it's a little bit more, kind of a bit more subtle, a bit more delicate.
I mean, you guys switched up who plays what instruments on this album as well, didn't you? So, is there a lot of switching around on stage now? Has everyone learnt different parts?
Trying to keep it down to an absolute minimum, switching about. Everyone plays things differently.
Okay.
So we kind of thought it'd be nice to see how people attack different things.
Definitely. I mean, of course, and you work with Jeff Barrow. What was that like? Sort of, did he come to you?
Did he come to? He came to us to ask us to play for HVP, and then we didn't have a producer at the time. We gave him one of our demos and said, "Jeff, can you produce it, please? You haven't got a producer. You like all the same stuff we do. You'll be really good." And he came back really quickly and said he would. Jeff's a bit like the hip hop Steve Albini.
Yeah.
He'll put you in a room and won't let you change anything, and won't have make sure no influence happens at all. He just captures what you're doing. Kind of cool and slightly mad for me.
He was really against any part of himself being like imbued on it. Like, this is your thing.
So that must be very liberating and daunting to work with that as well.
It was cool. I think he gave us the confidence to do it ourselves. That was kind of his big thing. He just kept on saying, you can do this yourself. You don't need me, and you don't need anyone else telling you what you should be doing with your music. You're more than capable of doing it.
Definitely
by yourselves.
I mean, where do you go from that though? I mean, like, you guys going to try Albini now? Like,
no, we're just going to do it by ourselves.
By yourselves?
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be good just to get into his studio.
I think
Albini's one of my favourite producers ever. I could never see the Horrors and Albini work.
I'd really like to do it. I think if we were in the same town for a few days as Electric Audio.
Yeah, Chicago.
And if we were in Chicago for a few days, I think I'd love to go down and record a few tracks with them and just see how they turned out.
Yeah, definitely. I'll maybe do a gig with Shellac as well.
Unreal.
Let's talk more about the new album. Sort of, with Jeff giving you the freedom, where did this sort of come from? I know you guys were using different pedals and stuff like that, and that obviously colours what you guys are doing a lot. But I know the vibe seems very different, very, like you said, more fragile, more sort of subtle.
Yeah. When we started writing songs, I think maybe the third song we wrote was 3 Decades.
Yeah.
And when we wrote that, we were all like, "This sounds really cool." And it kind of had all the feelings, all the emotions we wanted to have with our music, and we kind of felt that maybe it was missing the first time round. And yeah, we just kind of went from there. It was all about getting that feeling of like refreshing and kind of euphoria as well. And most people think it's really dark, and maybe they think it's depressing. We always thought it was like
uplifting,
uplifting and euphoric, and quite ecstatic.
No, definitely, man. It's got that sort of. It's got that really 80s uplifting, almost like you can't even really describe it. I mean, I had an argument with someone about the album there, talking about it sounds like music that used to be made. I'm like, yeah, but it sounds so fucking good, It's got an old feel with a modern edge, and you've reinterpreted an old sound.
It was supposed just to sound classic, really. Like Portishead records, they always sound classic. They don't sound like what they kind of defined the era now. But at the time, you listen to them, it sounded like a 60s. It was supposed to sound timeless.
It was more about conveying emotion than like trying to go after a particular sound or a genre or anything like that. We were trying to stay away from it.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, what do you guys have planned now after the big day out? Like,
We're going to Japan.
Ooh.
Which would be really cool for a couple
You
of days.
lucky bastards,
Yeah,
I'm jealous.
I can't wait. And then when we get home, we're trying to find somewhere to set up a studio. And then we're just going to start working on the next album pretty much straight away.
yeah, please do. Please spend as much time in the studio as possible. We'll all be very, very
Can't
grateful.
wait. Yeah, looking forward
Definitely.
to it.
Yeah, I mean, is there anything else you want to say to the lovely people at home?
Right.